Hi, everybody, and welcome to Faces in the Field. I'm Adam Darengowski. I work with the communications department here at Miller Pipeline. Faces in the Field, where we interview one of our teammates making it happen out on the job site. Today, we're joined by Mr. Nick Gill. He is a foreman from Washington, D.C., a service foreman. Nick, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Well, Nick, let's start with kind of your path in this industry and how long have you been working in the natural gas construction industry, and what brought you specifically to Miller?
All right, I started out doing water and sewer, and it was a pretty good job. I like digging and working in the trench, but yeah, it wasn't good enough pay. The benefits weren't there, so I found out about doing natural gas from a buddy that worked and did it. So I went over to another company right off the DC line in Maryland, working there. And my buddy that worked there with me actually left and came to Miller and told me about it all, how it's a better established company and better benefits and everything. So I came over to Miller, and I've been in the gas industry since 2018, so 4 years. And I just pretty much started out as a laborer and worked my way up to operator, and now I'm a foreman. And I started at Miller as a foreman.
Wow.
And I like Miller. It's a good gig.
Good. That's glad we love hearing that. What do you find maybe most enjoyable about your job as a foreman here at Miller Pipeline?
I like that all the general foremen, they work with you, help you. Like if you got a question, they'll help you out, get you back in line and answer all your questions you need. And I just like having a different view every day. It's just something different every day that you run into, and it just keeps it like exciting, I guess.
Are there also some challenges that come with your job? Because I mean, on the job site, a foreman is so important to what we do every day. Some would argue the most important. Do you find that there are some challenging aspects, and how do you deal with those?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges working in DC. You got a lot of vehicle traffic. People don't pay attention at all. So you got that challenge. Then you got a lot of utilities underground. Like you got to watch out for all the utilities. You get out to a road, it looks like a rainbow when you're trying to work. So it's a lot of challenges, and you just got to work up a plan with your crew and work through every challenge you get. Because if you don't work through them, then you ain't gonna succeed.
We use the term team and team members a lot, but out in the field, I'm sure that's pretty true. How do you explain kind of the aspect, that team aspect, when you're out on a job site?
We just work as a team. I get them all together. We work up a plan. I have one guy go dig the main hole a little bit and have a guy watch him, and then have another guy go up to the riser, dig the riser out. And we pretty much just work as a team to pretty much get all the tasks done and not stress on one crew member more than the rest. We just got to keep it all even and just team effort. That's the best way to make it out.
And how important is that out in the field? And does that make your job easier and more fun to have that team aspect?
Yes, it makes it 10 times easier when your team works together. Because if you have one link that's slow or they don't want to work, it just puts a whole kink in the whole plan. Because say one guy doesn't want to work that day and they just want to relax a little bit, then the riser hole ain't getting dug, and that's one step back, and that's an extra hour of work for the rest of the crew. And it's just everything works great when everybody wants to do the job and get it done.
Right. How do you go about, because the foreman is obviously the captain of that team, how do you go about building that atmosphere where guys feel like you're kind of all pulling in one direction?
Well, ever since I became a foreman, everybody's had different foremen when they were coming up, and you'd learn from your other foreman's mistakes to build yourself pretty much. And I build it like a friendship. Like my crew, we're all friends now. Like you build it as a friendship, work together, and it just flows really well once you have that bond with your other workers. And everything goes smooth once you guys are all on a friendship level. It's work, but we're all friends, and we contact when we're not at work, and it just flows very well whenever everybody gets along and works together.
That's great to hear. Our core values are obviously pretty foundational to who we are at Miller. Do you find yourself thinking about them, utilizing those 4 core values on a daily basis when you're out on the job site?
Yeah, you focus on the core values every day out on the job. You just got to stick to them so that way it all will flow.
Right. Another big piece of what we do is our sustainability mission. I know that's become more prevalent here recently. How do you find yourself maybe utilizing some of the strategies, some of the core pillars of our sustainability mission while you're out working?
Yeah, my sustainability is safety. I'm real big on safety because you can't get nothing done if somebody's hurt, and it really puts a damper on everything. If somebody gets injured, then everybody else is upset about what happened on the job, and you just got to stay safe out here, and you just keep your head on the swivel, keep your crew safe, and do every safety level you can, and just pretty much work together on being safe and getting it done, and
sure,
just making it home.
Speaking of safety, one of the things we talk about a lot is like what we live for, what brings us home safely every day, what motivates us to keep safety in the forefront of our minds. So Nick, what are your what I live for reasons? What keeps you going on the job and keeps you safe?
Well, I actually have a baby on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
She's 12 weeks pregnant, and my family keeps me wanting to come home and make sure everything goes smooth because I got a lot on my shoulders, and
sure.
I just got to be home to be there for my girlfriend and for the kid on the way. And I just got to be there for the family just so that way, just make it home.
Absolutely. And if you're taking baby name suggestions, Adam is a pretty good one for a boy, if I do
Adam?
say so myself. Yeah, just saying.
I have to show my girlfriend this video.
There you go. So at the end of every interview, we play a little game of like this or that. I throw you some rapid fire questions and you just answer which one you'd prefer. Does that sound okay?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, let's start with new tools or day off.
New tools.
New tools. Work in the summer or work in the winter?
Winter. I can't do the
winter.
Heat.
Oh, not a heat guy.
I duck hunt and deer hunt, so I love the cold.
My next one was hunting or fishing.
Hunting. I love fishing, but hunting definitely overtakes fishing.
That's always a tough one. And then since it is close to Christmas, open presents on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day.
Okay. And then what is on your Christmas list this year?
I need a new hunting coat because mine's 10 years old. I'm always one to buy for everybody else and not myself. I'll go buy my brother. Like last year, I bought him hunting boots. My boots had holes in them. I should have bought myself. But he needed boots, and I see it. He needs them more than I do. So
you're just too generous, Nick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining us on Facing the Field. We really appreciate all that you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. He's Nick Gill. He is a service foreman out of Washington, D.C. Make sure you follow Miller Pipeline on all of our social media channels. We share a bunch of news about the company and everything in between. So be sure to do that. And make sure you check out the Miller Pipeline store for all your Miller Pipeline gear. Christmas is coming. If you're like Nick and you want to give off a lot of good presents to all you and your family, make sure you do that, millerpipelinestore.com. This has been Faces in the Field. We will see you in 2023.